Hi everybody, it's Dixie from Louisiana, and I am so excited to welcome you to my podcast. Tune in every week for my tales of mischief and chaos that I promise will keep you entertained. But first, a quick word from our sponsor, the Ask Brain 2 app. Have you ever wanted to respond to a text but just couldn't find the right words? Stuck on a homework problem? Or maybe just pondering over questions about the universe? Or shoelaces? Ask Brain 2 is here to help. Just download the app and start having all your questions answered. Speaking of questions answered, want to know why my parents constantly ask me, "Why are you misbehaving again?" Putting marshmallows in the entire bowl of spaghetti dinner, making a furniture mountain to get to the cookie jar, gluing my parents' shoes to the floor on my birthday so that they wouldn't leave for work. And that was all before the age of 7. By 12, my misbehaving reached a whole new level. Like the time I convinced my parents that I needed to be watching MSA videos every night as part of a research project for school. Or when I emptied the entire street's trash on our neighbor's lawn because she'd been rude to Mom one day. I had 3 younger sisters, Drew, Demi, and Dakota. And the youngest was my brother Dean, who loved to wear my dresses. We were typical siblings, arguing over the pettiest things. But whenever I had a plan to misbehave, we were united. Now, they weren't all great plans, and occasionally one would backfire. Like the time we all got forced to go to my dad's work dinner. Dad's company imported and sold designer bags and shoes, but it's not like they were gonna give out free samples to us. I'm 14. Why do I have to go? I'm 12. Nobody wants me to go. I'm 10. You'll be sorry if you make me go. I'm 8. You have to bribe me to go. I'm not going. Unfortunately, we all had to go. But to make our points, we replaced all the dinner cards with silly names like Captain Cheesy Pants and Sir Burps-a-Lot. No one at the office had a clue who did it. Or so we thought.
Do you have any idea how embarrassing that was? You're all grounded for a week.
What? So, my siblings and I used our grounding time to create our next plan, the hot sauce incident. Which was basically just dipping our parents' toothbrushes in hot sauce. It says drinking too much of this may cause hallucinations and even weight loss. Weight loss? I could eat a whole pizza and just drink a bottle of this stuff. Are you crazy? You do know why it says weight loss, right? Do you want to be throwing up pizza for the next week? Hey, how can I get my teacher to drink this? Oh, we should use Mom's credit card to get pizza. Only I got an extra 2 weeks of dish duty for that little stunt. Because of course, I was the ringleader and I was a bad example to my siblings, blah, blah, blah. By the time high school began, boys started falling for me. Was it my good looks or my trickster side? Call me Harley Quinn for the reboot. But I only saw boys as my next victims and loved playing pranks on them. Till I went too far on a lunch date in the school cafeteria with the principal's son. I mean, I just slipped a rubber lizard in his pasta when he wasn't looking. But when he did find it, he completely flipped out, fell backwards, and hurt his head. I was suspended for 2 weeks. And my parents were mad that I wasn't taking my future seriously.
Your IQ is higher than your dad's and mine put together. Use those smarts for life goals and pick a career.
I already have a career. Criminal mastermind.
Why can't you be like your cousin Peter, picking a real career in 8th grade?
He's gonna be a dentist because his dad is a dentist and his grandfather was a dentist. The only thing Peter ever picked was his nose.
Until you get serious, young lady, no dating. Boys are just one more reason for you to be distracted.
At the time, I wasn't too upset. All the boys were just losers anyway. Until my senior year, when I fell for Zach. The minute I saw him eating my favorite candy, sour Skittles, I knew I had to get to know him. He caught me staring at him and walked over. But he was so handsome, I could barely speak. Nice Skittles.
They're originally from England.
That accent. Not only was he gorgeous, but he had a voice like Harry Styles. Is that where you're from?
Yeah, I just transferred here.
Well, I'd be happy to give you the skinny on all the teachers. For the price of, say, 12 Skittles? After a week of hanging out at school, he asked me to be his girlfriend. I had to keep it a secret from my parents. Otherwise, I'd be in for a real Turkish drama at home. Which meant keeping it from my siblings too. As close as we were, he would turn me over to the parent police for a donut. One day, I was leaving to go meet Zach,
and I'd ask him to park away from my house. Going to the mall with some friends. As I turned a corner and got close to Zach's car, my brother surprised me and hopped in right between us.
If you don't take me to the mall, I'm telling Mom you have a boyfriend.
Fine, but you have to promise not to tell our sisters.
I promise. But they kinda already know.
I turned to look, and all my sisters were running to the car. Before I could stop them, they all jumped in.
Can I drive? K-pop! I wanna listen to K-pop! I better be getting some ice cream out of this deal.
I was so embarrassed, but Zach just laughed. Let's get this clown car to the mall. When we got there, my brother begged me to take him dress shopping. And since we live in a no-judgment household, I told Zach to take the girls for ice cream while we looked for a dress just for him. He found the perfect one and wanted to wear it out of the store. Just then, I heard a loud voice.
Boys shouldn't wear dresses.
It was Naomi, the meanest rich girl from my school who bullied everyone. I avoided her at school, but pick on one of my siblings? That was war. Surprisingly, Dean looked her right in the eye and stood up for himself.
This isn't your store, and you're not buying this for me. And the last time I checked, it was a free country. So I'll wear whatever I like, and you can buzz off.
Everyone in the store clapped for him and booed Naomi, who turned red and stormed off, but tripped on a dress and fell flat on her face on the way. Her humiliation was complete, and she deserved it. I thought it was the end of it, but the next day at school, Naomi walked up to me and shoved her phone in my face. It was a split-screen picture of my brother in a dress and Mrs. Doubtfire on her Instagram with the caption, "Who wore it better?" It already had 500 likes. What? I mean, I only got 4 likes on my post, "How to duct tape your parents to the bed when they're sleeping." You're just jealous because he looks better in a dress than you do.
I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say bounces off of me and sticks to you.
Hey, if you don't want me to super glue your butt to every seat you sit on and glue your eyelashes to your face and glue your stupid lips shut, you better take that picture off. I'm warning you, I've got a bottle of super glue right here. As luck would have it, the principal was walking by just then, heard the whole threatening part, and I was in detention. Again. She just hated me ever since her dumb son hit his head. But I had to punish this stupid Naomi. That's when I came up with this brilliant idea. I told Zach to mislead her into thinking he was interested in her, so when she made a move on him, I'd tell everyone she was a boyfriend stealer.
Excuse me? You think you can just tell me to flirt with someone that I don't care about?
You won't help me? She's a monster.
Please just let it go and do what your parents say. Focus on your future.
Wow, I thought we were soulmates. I can't believe he wasn't on my side. That night, I told my siblings what happened, and they agreed with Zach.
I mean, sure, she's a witch, but I got my dress and I'm happy. Plus, Zach said he's gonna teach me to drive. Plus, he has all the best K-pop playlists. Plus, he buys us ice cream.
You all just like him because he spoils you.
Yeah.
I felt so betrayed. I was sticking up for one of them, and they traded me in for music and snacks. If Zach or my useless siblings weren't gonna help me, then fine. I decided I'd follow Naomi around and catch her doing something evil. Just as I was making my plans, Zach called.
Dixie, I don't want to fight with you. What if we go to a romantic dinner tomorrow night and we talk about it? Or not talk?
I can't stay mad at you for too long, and I would love that. Before I left for school that day, I packed my backpack with peanut butter sandwiches, 2 bottles of soda, and the Ring camera from our front door. You guessed it, it wasn't my first stakeout. I had to be prepared. But following Naomi after school was less exciting than watching paint dry. She just did boring rich girl stuff like getting manicures and posting selfies. But then she went into a high-end boutique, which was by appointment only. So I had to try to catch a glimpse through the window. Then, Jenga! As the sales lady turned her head, I saw Naomi shove a small bracelet into her purse. Rich girl stealing? I was finally gonna expose her. I took out my phone to get pictures of her stealing more stuff, but the security guard stopped me. Disappointed, but not discouraged, I followed her home after that. Must be exhausting stealing. She probably has to go home and rest up so she could steal lollipops from babies next. I snuck up to what I thought was her bedroom window, setting up the Ring camera to see inside. But then her guard dog came running out, barking like crazy. And I ran for my life. I spent all night at home staring at the live camera feed, but she didn't even come in. I guess I'd put up the camera for the wrong bedroom, one that no one ever used, it seemed. I must have dozed off watching the boring feed, because I woke up in the morning to a zillion texts from Zach. Oh no, I'd forgotten our plans. He was so mad that I'd stood him up. As soon as I got to school, I rushed over to him to apologize.
Save it. I need a girlfriend who thinks I'm as important to her as she is to me.
But I...
Go ahead. Tell me you weren't part of some crazy scheme last night involving Naomi. Call me when you're ready to be serious.
I barely had any time to process what had happened when I got a ring alert on my phone. Someone had finally entered the room, and I couldn't believe my luck. It was Naomi hiding the stolen jewelry. I had to get into that room somehow when she was at school. I skipped the last lesson and ran to her house to get there before her. Her dad answered the door, but I kept my cool. Oh, hi! I see where Naomi gets her good looks from now. Not that she's manly, or that you look like a girl. Anywho, I just came to pick up a textbook I left here earlier when I came to have a study date with Naomi. I know exactly where it is. Be back in 5 minutes. I ran straight to the room where the jewelry was and opened the drawers to find a lot more than just a bracelet. Just as I started taking pictures, I heard the door shut behind me and the lock clicked. I started pounding on the door and yelling, "Hey, let me out!"
You think you can fool me? Naomi doesn't have friends at home.
Huh? Clearly I didn't think that one through. I know your daughter is a thief, and I guess so do you. That makes you an accomplice. I'm gonna send your father-daughter criminal butts to jail.
I'll keep you locked in that room for as long as it takes our family to leave town. And if you don't keep your mouth shut, I will find the people you care about and hurt them.
No, I won't let you hurt my family. As I desperately tried to get the window open, I heard the door lock click open. I grabbed a lamp to defend myself, but it turned out to be Zach. Oh my God, Zach, what are you doing here?
Looks like I'm saving your butt.
How did you get past Naomi's dad?
I didn't come alone.
Just then, I heard screams that I knew only too well. I ran outside to the garden to actually find my siblings laughing hysterically as they were attacking Naomi and her dad, Home Alone style. Soon enough, we had Naomi and her dad tied up. Thank God you guys came. But how do you even know where I was? Good news. We saw the footage from the Ring camera and called the police. Bad news. Looks like Mom and Dad are here too. Good news. Looks like we get to keep Naomi's dog now. Bad news. I think he likes Zach more than you. The police arrived and took Naomi and her dad away. My parents were relieved that I was okay, but so furious.
Dixie, when will you ever stop acting like...
You're right. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have taken it this far and put myself and all of you in danger. I want to be more responsible, not only for myself, but as an example for my siblings. And I'm gonna go to law school so I can put criminals away.
You came up with a future plan while locked in a room by a madman? Maybe we should lock your siblings in a room.
Yeah, you do that. It helps, trust me. I turned to Zach and pulled him aside from the rest. Zach, I can't believe you came.
Of course I did. Even though I was mad, I still care.
I'm done with all of it. And now I just want to focus on my future plans, which hopefully still includes you. I kept my promises. I graduated with flying colors from high school, did well in college, and spent lots of quality time with my boyfriend. Soon after I'd graduated, Zach took me to the movies one evening. As I got to the bottom of my bag of Skittles, I suddenly found a freaking diamond ring inside. Oh my God.
Caught you by surprise, didn't I? Guess your pranking ways have rubbed off on me. Will you marry me, Dixie?
Yes, of course, yes. But this was kinda lame, babe. You just leave the pranks to me. I started my podcast because I realized my stories really entertain people. Didn't I just make y'all have a good time with my tales of mischief and chaos? Just wait until my next podcast for more crazy adventures.